Okay, welcome to another episode of Steptoe's Garage. It's been a while since the last one. A lot of things got in the way, but here we are. I had planned to do my 1935 Triumph Gloria, but unfortunately it's a bit crowded in a garage that I can't get out easily. So today I'm going to feature the 1939 Triumph Dolomite, which is a pretty rare car. It's an original engine car, original matching numbers car. It's done a hell of a lot of miles. It's been around for a long time, and according to my knowledge and registration certificate, it's never been actually unregistered, albeit club registration for the last 20 years. But the car started life as a sedan in Ashburton, Victoria, 1939, and in the 40s, early 40s, was bought by Keith Werner, who you might remember owned a couple of my other cars. Keith then took it over to South Australia, drove it for quite a few years, and in the end it basically fell apart like a lot of the bodies do in these cars, and he just put it into storage. And a few years later, back in the I suppose it would have been 70s, along came Brian Bates, and Brian Bates bought the remnants of the car and decided to build what we're looking at now to a degree. He built a sports body Triumph Dolomite. Now, as I said, all the suspension, everything on this car is as original. The only thing is he moved the engine and gearbox back 300mm to make it the sporting setup like it is now, the T-type body. But the car's been running, and I've had it for probably 15, 20 years now, and it's been running. It's done many hill climbs, it's done rallies, it's done so much work, night trials, and the car, touch wood, has never let me down in all that period of time. So today we're going to go through this car and feature all the parts on it. I know I had a few comments recently that from the previous ones that I didn't feature on the car enough. Well, today, after I've given you the backstory, which I have done now, we will go through and look at all the different parts of the car and fill you in on that. So this is another episode of Steptoe's Garage. Thank you. Okay. This particular car features a large headlights and stone guards, which are unusual, but they're sort of unusual for a lot of 30s cars. It's only the more expensive cars that feature these. They are what seems to be a very large headlight for a small car, but they were quite popular. You'll notice even that the hubcaps are engraved with Triumph on the side. That was a particular feature of all the early Triumphs, had their own hubcaps. And the rare parts that are hard to find on the cars these days. You'll see a peacock, orphan peacock. He's putting its head into the picture all the time. That's Lulu. She won't let me go anywhere without her at the moment. So you'll see her throughout the show. So now the windscreen, you'll see the windscreen is not the original windscreen, because, as I said, this was it was a saloon at one stage. So what we've done to it, we've put it didn't have doors when I purchased, so you can see we've put these large cutaway doors and the cycle guards. We've also manufactured this tank with the mesh sides, which is more befitting, with two filler caps, and a parcel rack. Other modifications and things we had to do for the car, we had to build the complete hood system, interior trim, and a lot of little features like the number plate light and the number plate holder. And so from when we first sort of bought the car, it needed a lot of work, even though it hadn't been used for quite a while. And as I said before, it was an original engine and gearbox collection, and so it was good to keep that all as much as we could. Period. As you can see here, you can see the doors. The doors are quite large, open in the traditional Triumph way from the front and hinging back to the seat. Enough room to be able to swing your feet in, which makes it much more convenient a car rather than the jump over sides as a lot of my other specials are. Steering and everything is really good on this car, and we rebuilt the steering box, and the brakes, I'd say pretty good for the period, and nothing special. We've also fitted a set of driving lights, Lucas driving lights and original Lucas horn, and actually there's actually a pre-40s club membership badge plus my Vintage Sports Car Club membership badge, and of course the lovely emblem, the mascot. We've covered up my club plates just for the sake of security, but I think you'll agree it's quite a nice looking car. The exhausts exit from the passenger side, and even though it's a 4-cylinder car, they have 3 outlets, a Siamese exhaust system, and I think when the car was built they couldn't find an exhaust manifold, although these days there's a few more parts available since a few more collections have come to go on the market. The car is quite a pretty car, and it's won many awards throughout its life. It's done a lot of hill climbs, as I said, and rallies over the years, and everywhere it's been has been fairly well accepted, and won the most popular and People's Choice quite a lot. The motor is the original 4-cylinder 1767 Triumph motor, and with the, as I said before, the original engine number and a matching chassis number, and you'll see a lot of traditional things like the spare plugs there. You can just see the plate, the ID plate down there. The car has always ran two guards, and it's been, I don't know how many miles it's done, but it's been very reliable. This is the exhaust side, and you'll see the original Triumph script on the rocker cover, and it was exactly the same script as in the motorbike era, of course. It's again a little bit of oil leaks, a little bit of water leaks, as a car from the 30s would be expected, and as that pesky peacock keep putting its head in the photo all the time. We did the interior when we redid the body, so it's got a new interior done by Sal Pesamenti in Bayswater, Victoria, and he also did the hood. And overall, I think proportions of the car are pretty right, and it's been a pleasure to drive, and it's not too hard to access, which is a big thing as you get older. I think all the time I've had it, I've never had to put a spare tyre on it or use a spare tyre, but it is working. And in fact, when I bought the car, there was a John Bull tyre was a spare tyre, and I think it would have been the original one from the original car. But it's quite a pretty car, and I'm pleased to share it with you today. What else have we got to say about it? That's about all, I think. This is one of my 6 pre-war sports cars, or pre-war Triumph cars, which is the largest number in any collection in the world, according to the register in England. I didn't set out to actually own the record number of cars, but it just seems to have happened by attrition. And I've got two more to rebuild. I have an original Gloria Speed Tourer, which will feature later in the series. So I think I've got about two more Triumphs to feature in this, and we might look at some of the other cars that I've built over the years. Thank you very much for viewing. We're taking the car for a short drive now, and this pet peacock won't be left at home, so we'll try to fly in. I'll have to dump it just before we drive down the drive, but she doesn't want to be left out. So you'll hear me going down the drive, and I apologise for the wind noise, but it was hard to get the engine noise and the wind noise and keep both of them together. So enjoy the drive. I won't be talking through it.